let's talk about alternative lifestyles now and the life of an expat. Have you ever wanted to quit everything and just go travelling? Just go away. I think most people right now, facing the winter that we're about to face and the cost of living crisis, could think of nothing they'd rather do than just quit everything, up sticks, and go away. Well, Regina, my next guest, did just that. Regina Petra Meyer, adventurer and author of Change of Course. Good morning. I love the term adventurer. Well, that's a great job description, isn't it?
Yeah, the best, I reckon.
Yeah, I reckon as well. So tell me about some of the adventures. First of all, why did you decide to go on adventures in the first place?
Oh, look, I think that starts very early on. Neither of my parents were travelers, and I asked my mum once if she had an idea where it came from. And she goes, when you were 3 years old, I caught you walking down the road with a little suitcase in hand. And I think it's just something that I always had in me, that sort of curiosity, what does it look like beyond the mountains that I grew up, and then it got further away, and today I'm in Australia.
So, because I can hear you, I was trying to identify your accent, and I thought, is she Australian? No, she's German. No, she's Swiss. So I couldn't quite place it. So you've been in Australia quite a while, because there is an Australian accent there.
Yes, I immigrated to Australia in 2003.
Right.
And I'm living in Cairns, the tropical north.
Yeah, lovely.
But always sort of look for places to go and travel.
Yeah, I mean, I absolutely love Australia. I remember when I was only there for a year, and got as far up as Brisbane. I think I didn't quite get to Cairns, but I came back, and my brother said to me, "You're going to have to drop that accent," because I'd already picked up the Aussie accent. It's so easy to pick up. It's so easy to pick up. So you ended up in Australia, decided to stay there, clearly for now.
That's correct.
How did you start your journey? Where did you start your journey?
Well, I guess the book is about a time when I was stuck in a stale relationship, and I really felt like, I need to step out and I need to do something different. And I was really fortunate that at the time, my partner, or my then partner, I should say, he had a really good job. He was happy. And we decided that I should go out and fulfill a lifelong dream, which was to sail a major ocean. And by basically going on that trip, my life changed completely. The relationship I had with the man in Australia fell apart. I fell in love with a local man in Antigua. And so I didn't have a home. I didn't have anywhere to be. I decided to return to Antigua to see where that romance was taking me. And I sort of got to working on boats.
And so you just literally just put one step in front of the other. So you weren't determined where you were going to go. Your journey took you there.
Yeah, it just sort of kept evolving. I had the best laid out plans when I left Australia, but I just soon learned that nothing ever happens according to how I plan it. And it also just got better and more exciting, So the biggest thing for me was, whenever money got really tight, that was obviously the hardest bit. But once I had a job in the sailing industry, my livelihood was secure, and I was just really able to enjoy my travels.
And so you learnt all these skills as you went, when you needed them?
Well, I started sailing in South Australia, so I always wanted to sail a big ocean. Don't ask me why. Again, neither of my parents were seafarers. So I started doing a sailing course in South Australia just as a faraway dream. But then when we decided to take some time apart in the relationship, that's when sort of my plans began to manifest. And I decided, my ex-partner got terribly seasick. And so I jumped at the chance and I crewed on some boats and fulfilled my dream.
And now you're in Cairns. What do you do up in Cairns?
I work as a disability carer at the moment, but I have also, previous to COVID, I have worked on the boats here in Cairns. We have the beautiful Great Barrier Reef just outside our doorstep here. So I used to go out there, and I do some disability sailing on Tuesdays.
And are you far from the Fraser Islands?
Yes, in European terms, that would be very far. In Australian terms, it's sort of, a couple of days drive, maybe one or 2 days drive.
That was the thing.
I've just driven past recently, actually.
That was the thing when I was in Australia, and I had to get from Sydney to Melbourne, and I thought, you know what, rather than I'll get a train. I thought I'd be fine. It's 11 hours to go about an inch on the map of Australia. 11 hours. And I was convinced the train was going round in circles because the whole thing looked the same. 11 hours.
I was just going to say that. The scenery doesn't change much.
Does not change at all. I thought I was going mad. Because Australia really is such a vast, you can't understand it until you're there, how vast it is. Are you still adventuring around Australia, or are you planning to adventure anywhere else, or do you think you've settled? Do you think you've scratched that itch?
Oh my God, no, I have definitely not finished scratching that itch. So I have just done a book tour down the coast of Australia, which was kind of a road trip, cramming a whole lot of books in the car and just seeing what happens along the way. I would love to go to Africa and work in a game reserve or, volunteer. I would love to climb Mount Kilimanjaro.
Oh, wow.
And see the Galapagos. Like, there's many things on my list still.
And do you think you'll do them, or are you somebody who you don't sound like you're somebody who'll just think about it and then just not do it? Are you determined to do it?
Oh no, I'm determined. I'll do them. I don't have any children, so in a sense, there is nothing really holding me back from pursuing those dreams. And travel has been so enriching for me, in my past years. So there's definitely going to be more of that.
And you need another book to write. So
yes.
You've got to do this. Somebody's got to do it, and you've got to go and do it for the next book. Your book at the moment, Change of Course. It's a brilliant thing to do, is just to pack up and go if you can do it. And listen, I wish you luck on your travels. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much. The book, Change of Course, Regina Petra Meyer, adventurer and author. Thank you very much indeed.